But there's only so much talking you can do in the presence of a car like this. First, you want to be on your own with it, to drink in that shape and those incredible dished rear wheels. And then you have to just go and drive it.
And so finally I'm driving the Huayra. That's the first point to make. It's called the Huayra, not the Huayra or the Huayra or the Huayra. It's Huayra. One day I'll learn to say it properly. Mr. Pagani probably doesn't like the way I say it, but I'm trying, okay, Horatio, I'm trying. What do we think about this car? Rather predictably, it's not like anything else I've driven. I'm now on quite a bumpy, quite open A road in Italy. I've got quite supple suspension. I've got a gearbox that's running in automatic mode. And actually, even though I've got 7 gears, because of the torque on offer, I need about 3 gears. This is a car that is easy to drive. That's the first point. It's easy to drive. Why is it easy to drive? Well, there's so much torque, 1,000 Newton meters. Get that? That's 737 foot-pounds of torque in a car that weighs 1,350 kilograms dry. That's outrageous. And it means that you just squeeze the throttle, the boost builds at around 2,000 RPM, and you don't have to think about it. Pedal weights are quite heavy, obviously only 2 pedals. But for me, one of the reasons why this car is easy to drive is the steering. It's very, very accurate and it's very precise and it's got a good amount of feel. And that means that you can place the car. And these massive hypercars, you've got to be confident that you're not just going to take the sides off to be able to drive it properly on the road. So that's what I've got. I've got a car that is perfectly relaxing to drive. It rides well enough. The cabin is big and airy, and whereas an Aventador's kind of up and at you and you feel like you're stuck in between, wedged in between great big amounts of fascia and center console, this is big and open. My knee can move in front of the center console, and of course the quality of the cabin and the jewellery that's going on in here is just staggering. You know that. And we'll have a look at that now because we need to celebrate the details on this car.
Carbon, polished metal and leather meet in one great writhing lump of loveliness. The clock faces are illegible, but the central readout is electronic and clear. The wheel is nearly perfect in shape and size, the paddles feel good, but the stumpy gear lever is almost too cool not to use itself. The signature quad exhausts are in pure titanium and the system weighs just 12 kilograms. Suspension is identical to the Zonda R, which lapped the ring in 6 minutes and 47 seconds.
The car has around 730 horsepower from a 6-litre twin-turbo V12 by AMG. It's a bespoke engine for Pagani and it has its own internal code. For geeks like me, M158, like that. It's a massively impressive power plant, and of course that's the brilliance of Pagani. Rather than going out and trying to do his own engine, he's using something that he knows works from a company that has kind of unprecedented skill at making massive horsepower. So the AMG power plant is crucial to this package. Perhaps the key issue around the Huayra is the noise, or rather lack of it, or rather presence of turbocharger noise. Being turbocharged, this car just cannot sound like those amazing Zondas we had before, particularly that last R version, which just, sounded like all sorts of bad things going wrong in the right way. So we have turbo noise this time. Here, I'll give you some. Get a load of this. Now, interestingly, Pagani has worked hard to try and tune that noise. It's the first kind of turbocharged car that I've driven that has got deliberately tuned turbocharger noise, and there's wastegate rattles and fizzles, and there's lots going on. Does it sound as good as Zonda? No. It's a different noise, and one that I think over time could become quite special. So to turn the Huayra into something that's actually not that friendly and is a full-on supercar, hypercar experience, there's a button here that says ESC. You get it in sport mode and you hold it down for 5 seconds and you hear a little dink. And you look at the dashboard and it says ESC off. And you get a little squiggle sign on there. And now you're on your own. So, second gear, coming up this rather narrow mountain pass of a road. Front end is great, but the performance is nuts. Oh yes! Front is really good, so we've got no understeer really, but coming out, it's spooling up everywhere. It's just nuts. Steering's a bit slow for these sorts of roads, but as you can see, I'm having to work quite hard. It's an animal, guys. It's an absolute animal. What a machine! I mean, the fact that it's two-wheel drive as well. So yeah, the billionaire can drive it in automatic mode, but I tell you what, if you want to be a hooligan, what a machine. I can't say too much, I'm just going to concentrate on driving it. God, it's fast. Does it feel like 730 horsepower? It feels like more to me. When the boost comes, it's furious, and you just hang on. You really do. It's fast. It's fast. And there's flaps going off and there's all sorts of drama and theatre. This is just pure hypercar. And anyone that thinks that Pagani's gone soft needs to come and sit in this now, because this is Veyron power to weight ratio through 2 driven wheels with, wait for it, no traction control. It's a tonic. I need to back away for a minute because that's so full on. You know, you want to match that, you've got to buy yourself a needle with some brown stuff in it, because that is just remarkable. Is that legal? I'm not sure it is, but Jesus Christ. 730 horsepower, 2 wheels, no traction control. Horatio, I salute you.
I needed time to cool my oil temperature after that. And here's the nitty gritty. Yes, the steering is great, but so is the damping, with the manually adjustable Öhlins shocks set to pretty soft. The ceramic brakes have decent feel and earned their keep. Pedal effort is pretty high though. The 7-speed X-Track gearbox is a peach, fast and enjoyable in manual mode, yet weighs just 96 kilograms and is mounted transversely. The Powertrain package is neater than the Zonda, so the weight distribution is a perfect 50-50. And as for the active aerodynamics, I didn't go fast enough to test them, but who cares when they look so damn cool?
when I first saw the Huayra, I wasn't entirely convinced because I didn't think the styling was quite as cute as the Zonda, and I was worried about this twin turbocharging aspect. Now I've driven the car, I have to say, I got it wrong. Do you know what, in the flesh, when you park it next to a Zonda, it just looks more modern, it just looks more appealing, it just looks cleverer. And I've never seen a car that's had so much detail lavished on it. It's extraordinary, truly extraordinary. But they haven't forgotten about the driving experience because this is a very clever car and I hadn't quite expected the breadth of talent. You can leave all the buttons in place and you can leave it in automatic and it's entirely usable. Okay, it's not a Nissan Micra, but as long as you've got a modicum of talent, you won't have a problem mooching around in this car, as I explained. But if you turn the systems off, I can't think of another car like this. 730 bhp, an even bigger torque figure, two-wheel drive, and you're on your own. It's an animal, as you can see. I was sweating away, genuinely enjoying myself. What is this car? I suppose it is the definitive hypercar because it's that style statement, it's that aesthetic statement mixed in with an unforgettable driving experience. Yeah, love it.